Greetings, YouTube. It's Dummywoods12 back again with another video. This video is gonna be about how great the 90s were. Now, I grew up in the 90s. This video is gonna be basically about how great the 90s were. And hold on, I have something playing. I have to pause. I was watching a little bit of Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue. But yeah, I had to pause. I had it on Netflix, so I had to pause it. But this video is gonna tell you gonna be me talking about how great the 90s were. Now, I'm a 90s baby, true enough, but this is gonna tell you guys how great of a decade it was for its entertainment. I mean, I'm gonna start off by saying the 90s had some of the. I'm gonna start off with sports. The sports of the 90s was great. I mean, the NFL was great. The NBA was epic. Even I didn't really know much about the MLB, but it was good. From what I hear, it was good. I mean, the NBA was basically taken over by Michael Jordan and the Bulls. And they won those 6 championships in the 90s. I mean, the 90s and NBA were ruled by him, by the Bulls. And the 90s, and for football, I mean, he had teams like the Cowboys were doing great, winning championships. 49ers were doing good. I mean, I think the Raiders were doing okay. Football and basketball teams in the 90s. I mean, sports in the 90s in general were just epic. But what I really want to talk about in the music was good too. I mean, the rap was even good. The rapping, and I don't like rap that much, but I don't really like rap, but the rap in the 90s was good. You had groups like Wu-Tang Clan, Tribe Called Quest. You had people like Jay-Z came out in the 90s. When I thought Jay-Z was kind of tolerable, he came out in the 90s. And Jay-Z, I'm not gonna lie to Jay-Z, I still listen to Jay-Z today. But I mean, you just had a lot of great music and like a lot of R&B groups in the 90s. Like, I'm a big R&B. I like R&B. Had a lot of R&B groups in the 90s. I don't listen to R&B much today, but back, if I listen to any R&B, to be old school 90s R&B. Like, had groups like Boys to Men, Bell Biv DeVoe, Jodeci, and countless others. Color Me Bad, Shy, these other epic groups. A lot of good R&B groups. A lot of them aren't really out today, but a lot of good groups in the 90s. A lot of good music in the 90s. And the rock music was good too. But what I really want to talk about is the TV. The 90s had some of the fucking best TV shows ever. I mean, a lot of the classic 90s TV shows still come on today. You had shows like Friends, Seinfeld, you had black shows like, but a lot of everybody in my family watched like Martin, the Wayans brothers. These shows still come on today, and like Friends and Seinfeld, they still come on today, and you still will laugh at them. No matter how many times you see these episodes, you will still laugh. I mean, other shows like I said, Martin, the Wayans brothers, they had In Living Color, which is still was kind of corny in a way, but it still was funny. And you had let's see what else we had. We had had cop shows like NYPD Blue. I watched a lot of old NYPD Blue episodes. Actually, my mom had some of them recorded, and I still watch a little bit of them. Watch a little NYPD Blue. It was good in the 90s. What other shows we had? I mean, Family Matters. We all love Urkel. I mean, it's countless other shows. I mean, so many other great sitcoms we had in the 90s. I mean, Saturday morning shows like Saved by the Bell. I mean, this show called California Dreams. Even though a lot of people really don't know much about that. Yeah, because Saved by the Bell basically overlooked that. But yeah, I mean, mean, those shows are just freaking epic. I mean, we will never have TV like that ever again. And there are countless other shows. Let me tell you, I think I'm trying to get some more. What am I leaving out? Great 90s sitcoms. I remember the show Hang On Mr. Cooper. But yeah, I watched that. It was good. Living Single. It was a Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I mean, I can go on and on my great shows we had in the 90s. But from what I like, what I'm really finna talk about is, like I said, I grew up in the 90s. I'm finna talk about the kid shows we had in the 90s. There were so many good kid shows on in the 90s that I wish some of these shows would really come back. I mean, first of all, one of the first shows I really just paid attention to, that I remember I paid attention to, was the Batman animated series. But I think that was on Kids WB. And they had a Superman animated series. Those were really what introduced me to a lot of these superheroes. Batman the animated series and Superman the animated series in the 90s really introduced me to all of them. I love those shows. Those are my favorite shows. And but I'm tell you something I really do miss. I fucking miss Fox Kids. I wish like kids nowadays really had a chance to experience Fox Kids. I mean, Fox Kids has some of the best shows ever. I mean, it gave us Power Rangers, which was my favorite show. Which my whole life was as a kid was dedicated to Power Rangers. And like I said, I still watch Power Rangers. I still go back like on Netflix and stuff and watch old series and stuff. I'm not really feeling the new Samurai series, man. I will still watch it, but I'm not really feeling it. But I'll still watch it to support the show. Because I know Samurai is like Power Rangers is like Nick's #2 show on TV next to SpongeBob. Well, SpongeBob's #1, Power Rangers is #2. But anyway, and Fox Kids has some epic shows. I mean, the X-Men animated series show. I mean, I still can watch this show and feel somewhat excited at the end of every episode. The X-Men the animated series show. I mean, like I said, they had Power Rangers and they even had a Ninja Turtles animated show. I mean, they had a Ninja Turtles live action show. And also other shows like other Saban shows like Mask Rider, even though it was on for like a season. I used to watch Mask Rider. I mean, Big Bad Beetleborgs. And that ran out of got canceled because they ran out of footage from Japan to use for that. But like I said, I like Big Bad Beetleborgs, Mask Rider, VR Troopers. Even I think VR Troopers was on for like 2 seasons. I like that show they had called that Street Sharks. They had Gargoyles. I mean, I love my shows. I mean, you would never kids. I think today are really missing out on stuff like that. I mean, shows like that were epic. I mean, I think kids really missed out on stuff like that. And there's other like kid shows that were good in the 90s, like Nickelodeon shows like All That, which comes on the 90s, All That, Kenan and Kel, Rocko's Modern Life, Salute Your Shorts. I think that was the name of that show. The Adventures of Pete and Pete. There's there's more. Let's see. Let me think. I already said Rocko's Modern Life. Ren and Stimpy. Excuse me. But this counts as Hey Arnold. I mean, there's lots of other shows. I mean, it was great. But the 90s, to me in general, the 90s is just the best. To me, one of the best decades ever. I'm just saying, the 90s. I mean, it would never be anything. We would never have any entertainment like we did in the 90s. I mean, that's really all I gotta say about that. I mean, I just something that had on my mind. There might be some more stuff I left out of this video that happened in the 90s for pop culture, like in entertainment business, media wise. But And you put a comment below. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you, I miss the 90s. I really do. I wish we could like go back and find some and like bring some of these old shows back. If I weren't working for today's world, with today's generation, but I'm just saying, it's something about the 90s. I mean, just the 90s was a great decade. But here's Dumb Wish 12 checking out. This is my last video for the day. I'm gonna be back tomorrow, probably with another Power Ranger video. It might be a list video now. I might just wind up find some time to do my season reviews, because I haven't done a season review in a long time. But peace, God bless. I'm out.